Today, we're going to learn how to subtract integers. We'll go through plenty of examples to make it easy to understand. Let's jump right in. First, let's learn how to subtract integers using a number line. This method works best when dealing with smaller numbers. Let's start by placing the integers on the number line. Remember, an integer is any number that can be positive, negative, or zero. Alright, let's subtract using the number line. Here's the first problem we'll work on. For the problem 3 minus 8, the first step on the number line is to start at 3. As you can see, I've highlighted the minus sign. This tells us we need to move 8 places to the left on the number line. And we start at positive 3. Now let's move 8 places to the left. Count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. As you can see, we stopped at negative 5. That's our final answer. Let's try another problem. By the way, the number line really shows what happens to numbers when we're subtracting. Let's subtract. Negative 4 plus 8. Here, we're not subtracting. I want to show you what happens on the number line when we're adding. We move to the right on the number line, and we start at negative 4. Now let's move 8 places to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We stopped at positive 4. That's our final answer. Positive 4 on the number line. Now, let's try this problem. Negative 3 minus negative 8. As you can see, we have two negative signs, or two minus signs here. Don't get confused here. There's a rule in math. When we have two negative signs, they turn into a positive. So, this becomes positive. We start at negative 3, and then we move 8 places to the right. 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. We stopped at positive 5, so our answer is 5. Now, what if the numbers are too big, and we don't have enough space on our number line? Well, there's just one answer to that. Get really good at adding and subtracting, because we'd need to move 27 places to the left and we'd require a much longer number line, which would take too much time. The best method now is to focus on which number is bigger and take the sign in front of that number for our final answer. 27 is bigger, but we take the sign in front of it. Since the sign is negative, our final answer will be negative, and we take that number, 27, and subtract 15. And 7 minus 5 is 2, and 2 minus 1 is 1. Final answer, negative 12. Now that you have a basic idea of the number line, let's practice without using it. Now, let's talk about these kinds of problems. His problem here is the same as negative 6 plus negative 8. Don't get confused. We haven't changed the numbers. They're still the same, as you can see. And now, we're adding two negatives. When we add two negative numbers, the result is always negative because we're moving further left on the number line. Final answer, negative 14. Alright, let's prove this on a number line to show why the number gets smaller. We will start at negative 6 and move 8 places to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 10, negative 11, negative 12, negative 13, negative 14. Remember that negative numbers are less than 0. Therefore, they represent smaller values. 6 minus 9. Let's use the number line to quickly solve this, unless your mental math is good. We are going to move to the left. The negative sign indicates that. We start at 6, but that's a positive 6, so pay close attention. We're moving to the left where the number starts to decrease. And that's 9 places to the left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3. Our final answer is negative 3. 15 minus 18. So, we take the sign in front of the bigger number, 15 and 18. Which sign are we going to take? The positive sign or the negative sign? Well, by now you should know we're taking the sign in front of 18. Since 18 is bigger than 15, we'll take the negative sign. And we'll take 18 and subtract 15. So 8 minus 5 is 3, and 1 minus 1 is 0. By the way, which method do you prefer for subtracting integers? Using the number line or doing mental math? I would love to read your comments. Now let's try 3 minus negative 9. As you can see, there are two negatives, and a negative will always turn into a positive. Now we have 3 plus 9. 3 plus 9 is 12. Here's another example. Negative 16 minus negative 25. So, circle the negatives, and this will change to a plus sign. And now this will be negative 16 plus 25. By the way, this example here is the same as 25 minus 16. It's called the commutative property of addition. And now, we take the sign in front of the bigger number. Sometimes that sign can be negative or positive. In this case, the sign is positive. And now let's subtract the big number from the small number. We borrow from 2 because we cannot subtract 6 from 5. 15 minus 6 is 9. Awesome. Let's keep practicing. Here's the next problem. Negative 16 minus negative 12. Negative 16 minus negative 12 is the same as negative 16 plus negative 12. We kept the signs of the numbers. We didn't change anything. I hope you're noticing that. Now, let's add these two negative numbers. Negative 16 plus negative 12 is negative 28. Always remember, when adding two negative numbers, we will always have a negative as the final answer. Now try solving 32 minus negative 14. What's the first thing we do? As you can see, two negatives turn into a positive, and now we have 32 plus 14. Let's add 32 and 14. 2 plus 4 is 6, and 3 plus 1 is 4. Our final answer is 46. Negative 35 minus 14. So, this is the same as 35 plus, negative. 35 plus negative 14. As you see, the final answer will be negative, and we will add these two negative numbers. 35 plus 14. 5 plus 4 is 9, and 3 plus 1 is 4. Answer, negative 49. Now try this example. What step will you take here? So, once again, to not get confused with negative 6 and negative 4, we are adding these two negatives. As a beginner, it's best to set up this example this way. And with some fast mental math, this is negative 10. Now you can try solving negative 64 minus negative 53. So the first thing here is the negative signs. As you know, that will turn into a plus sign. Negative 64 plus 53. The final answer will be negative. We will take the sign in front of the bigger number, which in this case, the sign of the bigger number is negative. And we will take that number, which is 64, and subtract 53 from it. 4 minus 3 is 1, and 6 minus 5 is 1. Final answer, negative 11. Now, subtract negative 49, and let's subtract 54. Now, to speed up the process of subtracting integers, you should know by now that these two numbers need to be added together. So let's go ahead and add. 4 plus 9 is 13, carry the 1. 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 4, 10. The final answer is negative 103. So, okay. By the way, remember this is the same as this in this way, where just by looking, nothing changed. The numbers keep being the same. And now, as you see, the final answer will be negative. Alright, by the way, remember to pause the video and try the problems by yourself. Now, solve for negative 63 minus negative 78. Let's change this problem into addition. Okay, since this video is about subtracting integers, let's set up this problem as a subtraction problem. What should we do next? You should know by now. We take the sign of the bigger number. 78 is the bigger number. Our final answer has to be positive, and we take that number, which is 78, and subtract. I'll do it quickly in my mind. That's positive 15. Moving on. Subtract these two integers, negative 12 and negative 16. Alright. We could just go ahead and add these two negative numbers, but it's best to set up this example like this to avoid any mistakes. Let's add 16 and 12. What will our final answer be? Positive or negative? 6 plus 2, 8, 1 plus 1, 2. So, the rule is, when adding two negative integers, the final answer will be negative. Here is another example. Negative 9 minus negative 18. So, look here. Two minus signs, negative and negative, will turn into a positive. Now we solve for negative 9 plus 18. Our answer will be positive 9. If you subtract 9 from 18, you are left with 9. For this example, 19 minus 76. By the way, let's say we are adding. This is the same as negative 76 plus 19. We will take the sign in front of 76, which is a negative sign. And now let's go ahead and subtract 19 from 76. Borrow from 7, 16 minus 9 is 7. 6 minus 1 is 5. The final result is negative 57. Negative 25 minus negative 76. A negative and a negative is positive. 76 will turn into a positive. And once more, this is the same as 76 minus 25. We now take the sign in front of the bigger number. The sign is positive. We take that number, which is 76, and subtract 25 from 76. Our final answer will be 51. I repeat myself quite a lot. This is because in math, we need to constantly remind ourselves about these basic steps. This will help when you start doing Algebra 1 or 2, and you'll be able to simplify steps faster. With that in mind, we are adding two negative integers, so the final answer has to be a negative number. Add 147 and 79. If you practice every day, you'll be able to solve problems quickly. Our final answer is negative 226. Now I want you to try this problem. Negative 19 plus 13 minus 19 plus 4. We have four integers in this equation. So the first thing you should do is group the negative integers and add them. Negative 19 and negative 9 will add up to negative 28. Now, group the positive integers and add them. 13 plus 4 will add to 17. Take the sign of 28. That's a negative. And now, let's subtract 17 from 28. Our final answer is negative 11. Thank you so much for watching this video on subtracting integers. I hope you found it helpful. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment below with any questions or problems you'd like me to cover next. And don't forget to share this with friends who might find it useful.